At Crown Point Realty, we believe in creating a real estate experience for our clients that is second to none. Educating and preparing our clients for what to expect is the best way to ensure we get you started in the right direction. As committed realtors, we are always on the go and always well caffeinated. We decided why not answer your real estate questions over a cup of coffee at some of our favorite spots. This is Coffee with Crown Point. Hey guys, welcome back to Coffee with Crown Point. Matt Farnham here. I'm one of the brokers at Crown Point, and today we have Emily Belknap with us. She's our marketing manager at Crown Point. Emily, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to talk about marketing primarily today, so we figured who better to shed light on this subject than Emily on our team. But what we've been talking about here recently is what are the different areas that a consumer, buyer or seller, would take into account when choosing what company to work with or what agent to choose to help them sell or buy a home. And we've identified, market knowledge, experience, how long they've been doing this, are they full-time or part-time, negotiation skills. I mean, there's so many different factors, just work ethic, do they work hard or not, those things. But marketing is one of those things, especially for sellers, that should definitely be given consideration. And not only consider it, but it's one of those things that, how engaged are they? It's constantly changing. Marketing is changing every month.
Yes, it definitely is. And just like every industry that changes, but since we've gone digital, it's been pretty much the biggest leap that marketing's seen. And beforehand, the best way to put your home in front of the most faces was to put it in the newspaper. But now that we've got Facebook, now that we've got all these social media options and mobile websites, not only can you make sure that you're putting it in front of a ton of faces, but you can go out and find the right people and target the right people so that your spend is going exactly where you want it to and getting you the best people possible.
Right. I used to do magazine ads all the time. I've been doing this 14 years, and newspapers I think maybe ended right before maybe they still did them, but yeah, it was Craigslist and magazines and some of these things. But now I'm not saying that you can't do that stuff, but there's so many things you can do now.
Yes.
But now it's like you said, it's mobile, so we have to think about meeting the buyer where they are, the consumer where they are. So being mindful of where are they when they get the information, and what is the message they're receiving when they get it, and where, like I said, what context or setting are they in when they're getting that. So maybe they're at a cubicle at their office, looking on their phone at home when they shouldn't be, but we know that happens. But being mindful of, okay, I'm in my office, I don't have the sound on, what's the message I'm getting, where I'm at, and how am I getting that message? And same thing with websites. If they're seeing it on the go, on a tablet or on a phone, is it set up that way? Is it structured in such a way that it's easy to see on the phone? Take it from Zillow and Redfin, all these other big companies, they do the same exact thing. And that's one thing that real estate brokerages should be taking into account when they're marketing a seller's property.
Right. And just to kind of tag on to that, having a marketing plan is important. You wouldn't go out and list a home without a plan. You shouldn't market a home without a plan.
Right.
Now that we've got all of this digital, coming with the digital comes so many analytics. So not only are you constantly in conversation with those potential buyers, but you're constantly being able to see how potential buyers are reacting, and you can, halfway through your campaign, change your mind and readjust, whereas beforehand that wasn't really an option. So it's definitely important to have a plan, because it's not a one and done thing. You can't just fix it all the morning that you list your home and then you're done with it. You've got to constantly be checking those posts and those ads and engaging with people, because now, we expect a real-time response. If I reach out on a property on Facebook, I'm not expecting, Joe Schmo to get back to me tomorrow. I'm expecting him to get back to me, in the next couple of minutes. I want to have a conversation about it.
That's a really good point. So now, I think what you're saying is it's more than just marketing. How pretty is the ad going to look?
Right.
A true strategy or process is more than, hey, here's the ad. It's here's the ad, here's what it's going to look like, but here's the message, here's where the person is at when they're receiving it, and when they do engage or respond, how do we engage back or respond to that? Because with instant gratification, we've seen studies that say that the consumer wants a response back within 5 minutes, and now it's even more within like 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. So what's our plan or process? So we work hard to generate this interest, but what do we do with it? So having that plan, and it's more than professional photos now. There's professional photos. For those watching, that should be a non-negotiable absolute now, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of folks out there that still don't do those. It's not a large investment to make sure that first impression is done perfectly. You only get one first impression. Don't ever forget that. But again, it goes further than that, because what is that first impression and where are they when they're getting it?
Right. Yeah, definitely. In this age, we're definitely very visual.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't go get those professional photos, regardless of the amazing marketing plan you could have in place, it's just not gonna perform to the best of its ability. But you definitely need to. So when you're going to decide to choose, what company, what realtor, shop around. A lot of people haven't fully devoted the time that's properly needed for a solid marketing plan.
And you mentioned time. That's the thing, is it's still an investment. So yeah, there's investment in getting photos and video done and creating these websites and getting the URLs and launching Facebook and social media campaigns. There's an investment there, no doubt. But a lot of the investment's time now.
Yes.
It takes time to sit down and optimize these sites and to strategize when this is going to post here or post there, or let it run its course and analyze it and then test it a different way to see what gives a better result. We do a lot of testing.
Yes, we do so much testing. Pretty much everything we do it 2 ways, just to see what's going to be better, because the whole point of having a plan and a strategy is to constantly grow it. Each listing that we take should be just a little bit better than the last one. We need to constantly be looking out for what the consumer wants, because that's who we're targeting. But it goes back with the whole time thing. Part-time realtors, they don't have the time. You can't just post everything out there and then leave it.
Right.
You've got to be ready to, if someone asks for the link for the mobile website, you got to be ready to send that to them. You got to be ready to talk about the backyard if someone wants to talk about the backyard.
Right.
It's a constant conversation, and if you don't follow up with the back end of that conversation, the potential buyers are going to see that, and it's going to turn them off.
Right. Well, that's great. And the other thing we wanted to mention is, one thing I see a lot is when you analyze why a home doesn't sell. And in my opinion, there's really 3 kind of major pieces to a successful home sale, and that's price, accessibility, and marketing. And I talk about that with my clients all the time, and we do here at Crown Point. And I'm afraid a lot of times that price gets blamed for being the issue when it might not be the price. And what I'm getting at is thankfully I don't have this conversation much myself with clients, because we get the job done. But reality is, if the home isn't selling, if I know the marketing is there and there's a strategy and it's being executed, the exposure's there, the follow-up's there, great. And the seller, if you're making the home very easy to show, it's accessible, we have a lockbox on it, or you're very easy to get a hold of and accommodating, that's not the issue. Well, then frankly, it's price. That's the only thing left, and that's probably a conversation that needs to be had and make an adjustment, and hopefully that's it. But I'm afraid so oftentimes price gets blamed when really the home is not being marketed well. And if that's not identified and you point to the price and reduce it, yeah, it might work to get your home sold, but how many thousands of dollars might have been left on the table when really just a good marketing plan from the beginning would have made all the difference.
Right. And now that everything is so out there as far as marketing, it's really easy to look up someone's listing and just see what all they've done.
Right.
It's easy to gauge who has a marketing plan these days and who doesn't, and who's really putting the effort and follow through in on it.
Right.
So look for it. Don't go in blind.
Right. And this is not a hey, 2 Crown Points Horner thing, but this is just, as a consumer, make sure you're doing your homework, look at those things, and marketing is a major factor that you should consider when, differentiating who to hire and who not for real estate. So I hope you found value in this. Emily, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
We appreciate you guys watching this and look forward to tuning in next week of our next episode of Coffee with Crown Point.
Do you have a question that you'd like to have answered? Feel free to submit a comment below, send us a message, or give us a call, and we will feature it in an upcoming episode.